clown Arthur Fleck is working outside a store waving a sign while making funny movements when several kids grab his sign. Arthur chases the kids into an alley, however the kids ambush him, beat him up, and break his sign. Later, Arthur meets with a social worker to get his medication. The social worker asks him how work is and how his mood has been recently before arranging for another meeting the following week. After getting his medicine, Arthur makes funny faces at a child on the bus ride home. The mother cautions him, causing him to start laughing. The woman gets offended, so Arthur hands her a card. Arthur suffers from a neurological disorder that causes him to have uncontrollable laughing fits. Arthur goes home where he lives with his mother Penny in the crime-ridden streets of Gotham City following the early 1980s recession. He doesn't know his father, so Arthur takes care of his ill mother, and the two enjoy watching the popular Murray Franklin show. Arthur dreams of being a stand-up comedian, so he often visualizes himself on Murray's show. He imagines Murray hugging him and saying he would trade his fame to have a son like Arthur. At work, Arthur's co-worker Randall sympathizes with his situation and gives him a small revolver for self-defense. Arthur is summoned by his boss, who asks him to return the store sign or else pay will be deducted from his salary. Every time Arthur gets home, his mother asks him if she's received any letters, so Arthur must check the mailbox. She used to work for a wealthy man called Thomas Wayne, so she hoped that he could write back and help them financially. One day, Arthur shares the elevator with his neighbor, single mother Sophie. The two share some gesture jokes, brightening Arthur's mood. Arthur enjoys dancing and listening to music at night. This time, he plays around with his revolver, accidentally firing it. Arthur stalks Sophie as she drops her child at school and on the bus ride to work. He then goes to a comedy club and takes notes of what a popular stand-up comedian says and does. Sophie knocks on Arthur's door, asking if he'd been following her that day. Arthur confirms and invites her to his stand-up show. Sophie agrees to the date. Arthur performs for kids at a children's hospital. Everything goes well until he accidentally drops the revolver. Arthur plays it off as a prop, but he gets fired. He tries to explain himself but learns that Randall has thrown him under the bus. On the train back home, Arthur sees 3 drunk employees from Wayne Investments bothering a young woman. He has a laughing fit, causing the men to start approaching him. They are irked by his laughter and start bullying him, not giving him a chance to draw out his card. The men start beating Arthur while making fun of his clown costume. Arthur gets angry and he retrieves his revolver, executing 2 men in seconds and injuring the third. The train stops and the man tries to escape, but Arthur follows and executes him as well. Arthur knocks on Sophie's door, and when she answers, he kisses her and the two get intimate. The following day, news of a killer clown spreads all over the city. Arthur retrieves his belongings from work. Most of his co-workers are sympathetic to his plight, but Arthur laughs it off and walks away after damaging some property. He meets with his social worker, who asks him the usual questions. He feels that the social worker isn't concerned with his well-being. The worker explains that Arthur's medication will be cut off due to the city's budget cut. Arthur goes to his stand-up show but starts laughing uncontrollably. Despite this, he receives great applause from the crowd and Sophie. After the show, Arthur and Sophie walk home and stop when they come across the killer clown in a newspaper. Sophie shares that while the murders are heinous, several people consider the clown a hero. The two have a fantastic time on their date, and Arthur cannot believe that Sophie's with him. Thomas Wayne is invited to Murray Franklin's show. He sends condolences to the families of the murdered men as they were his employees. Wayne shares his intentions to vie for the mayoral seat so he can eradicate crime. When asked about the clown, Wayne reveals that to him, all the poor people are clowns as they have not lived up to their potential. Back home, Arthur intercepts a letter Penny has written for Wayne. He's surprised to learn that Wayne is his biological father. He approaches his mother demanding an explanation. Penny shares that she had a forbidden affair with Wayne and had to hide it to protect Wayne's image. Arthur goes to Wayne's mansion and attempts to befriend his son. However, the Wayne family butler Alfred Pennyworth intercepts the interaction. Arthur seeks an audience with Wayne and mentions Penny. Alfred asks Arthur to go away and claims Penny is crazy. When Arthur gets home, he finds paramedics hauling his mother away. At the hospital, Arthur is approached by 2 detectives. They had stopped at Arthur's house to question him regarding the subway murders, but Penny started having a stroke, so they called the paramedics. The detectives try asking Arthur questions, but he walks away. He and his mother watch Murray's latest show. To his horror, Murray displays Arthur's stand-up comedy clip, and Arthur realizes it wasn't the hit he assumed it to be. Murray makes fun of the comedian and calls him a joker, much to Arthur's disappointment. Protests break out in the city due to Wayne's insensitive comments, and the latter refuses to apologize, villainizing the rich. Determined to meet with his supposed father, Arthur sneaks into a film theater and enjoys watching Charlie Chaplin. He then follows Wayne into the bathroom, and Arthur confronts him about being his father. Wayne denies being Arthur's father and insists that Penny is crazy. He also shares that Arthur is adopted. Arthur starts laughing, causing Wayne to punch him and warn him to stay away from his family. The following day, Arthur gets a call from Murray's production team. They want to have him on the show as his video has gone viral, and Arthur readily accepts. Arthur goes to Arkham State Hospital, inquiring about Penny's alleged stay there. The attendant reveals that Penny did stay at the hospital as she exhibited narcissistic behavior. He is horrified to learn that he was adopted, and Penny had been institutionalized for starving Arthur. She raised Arthur with her abusive boyfriend who died in jail. She created a relationship with Wayne in her head, and she was fired. In her defense, Penny says she never heard Arthur crying. Sophie is startled to find Arthur in her apartment. Arthur makes a shooting gesture to Sophie, and the truth floods his mind. All his interactions and romances with Sophie had been in his head. Scared, Sophie asks Arthur to leave. The following day, Arthur goes to the hospital and smothers his mother for lying to him for all these years. He goes back to the apartment and dresses up in a fancy red suit. Arthur practices for his time on the show and decides to create a persona. He undresses and dyes his hair green while dancing. He paints his face white but is interrupted by someone knocking on the door. Randall and another ex-colleague, Gary, have heard about Arthur's mother and are here to spend time with him. However, Arthur grabs a pair of scissors and stabs Randall fatally. He lets Gary go as he had always been kind to him at work. After painting his face, Arthur wears the red suit and walks into the streets. He starts dancing while going down the staircase. The two detectives from earlier spot him and ask him to stop, but Arthur runs away instead, resulting in a chase. The chase takes the detectives into the subway, where many protesters wear clown costumes. The detectives try to go after Arthur, who keeps on evading them. Arthur hits one protester, causing a fight, and in the process, one detective accidentally executes a protester, while Arthur struts away happily. This is the night Arthur is set to appear on Murray's show. Murray comes to prepare him and talks a little about the severely wounded detectives. He asks Arthur to be ready, and Arthur asks to be introduced as Joker. Joker walks onto the stage with a little strut and a dance. He kisses a lady guest and then sits, waiting to be interviewed. The fail video is played again, and Murray asks if Joker has a joke. He gives a morbid joke which earns him a reprimand from the other guests. However, Joker confesses that he had killed the business people in the subway. He then criticizes Murray for acting like a better man while he purposefully brought him on the show to ridicule him. Joker asks Murray what he expects bringing a mentally ill person to the show to mock him. Murray tells his people to call the police, but Arthur shoots him in the head on live TV. He's arrested amidst chaos and riots in Gotham City. On the way to the police station, two rioters crash an ambulance into the police car, instantly killing the two officers. They rescue Joker and place him on top of the car. Joker regains consciousness, stands up, uses his blood to paint a smile on his face, and starts dancing for the murderous crowd. Elsewhere, Wayne and his wife are killed in cold blood, with the young son left standing next to his parents' corpses. Later, Joker talks to a social worker at Arkham State Hospital. He envisions Wayne's son witnessing his parents' execution and laughs to himself. The social worker inquires about this, but Joker claims she wouldn't understand. The film ends with Joker walking down the corridor, leaving bloody shoe prints on the pristine floor. Do leave a comment telling us your favorite part of the movie. Hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next recap. Until next time, folks, take care and goodbye.